Hello everybody, so my girlfriend's again making a video, but today we are doing the top 10 best movies of 2014. You've already seen my worst, you can go back and watch that, where I got very angry. This time I'm not going to get angry and it's going to be a lot of a happier video, talking about films that had me thinking so much, had me leaving the cinema feeling so excited about watching them and left me thinking about them for days on end. First off, let's do the mentions. The first 5 mentions here, no, 1, 6 mentions here, are some films that got released in America last year, and some films that are getting released next year in the UK. So we've got The Wolf of Wall Street, which got released in the UK this year. I did see it this year, but I also saw it last year. I saw it on screen last year, and then went with my friend this year. And then we have 12 Years a Slave, which got released in America last year, but also got released in the UK this year. But it's not in there. And then we have Inside Llewyn Davis, got limited release in the America last year, but then in the UK this year. And then we have Her, which got released in the UK this year, but released in America, a limited release in America last year. And then we have Inherent Vice, which doesn't come out until next year, but I did see it this year, so this is still going in the mentions because it gets a limited release in America this month as well. So, and then we have John Wick, which gets released in January in the UK, but I saw it in America this year, so that's why that's in here. And then let's go on to those other mentions. So we have Gone Girl. This was almost in the top 10, but something beat it. But I did still absolutely love Gone Girl and thought it was great. What We Do in the Shadows was almost in my top 10. Absolutely brilliant mockumentary, very, very fun. Pride was a very, very lovely film. All This Mayhem, brilliant documentary. The Guest, excellent horror, thriller, brilliant. How to Train Your Dragon 2, beautiful, beautiful animation, and a brilliant sequel. Frank, absolutely hilarious film. Blue Ruin, brilliant, brilliant revenge film. The Raid 2, excellent sequel. Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2, very weird films, but films that made me think a lot and were really great. Then we have Captain America The Winter Soldier, was almost in my top 10. One of the best superhero films ever, and just absolutely flawless and brilliant sequel. Then we have Paddington, lovely, lovely film. Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal is incredible in that. 71, brilliant film. The Babadook, excellent horror, didn't feel the need to have jump scares to scare its audience. Edge of Tomorrow, brilliant sci-fi. And then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I tried to make that quite small, that list, so you had the 6 first and then you have other 15 picks. But that is my sort of films that I liked the most as well. But let's go on to my top 10. And I'm going to not speak so fast. So, in at number 10 is Interstellar. Interstellar is a film that was incredible. Interstellar, that's number 10. That just beat Gone Girl because that was going to be in number 10 before, but Interstellar beat it. Interstellar is a film that had me thinking for a long time after watching it. It had the feel of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but had all these things that were a lot more exciting than that. I still like 2001: A Space Odyssey, but I do find it boring at times. But Interstellar was just so exciting when it went to space. The cinematography was beautiful. The story was compelling. McConaughey was absolutely incredible. The whole film just mesmerised me the whole way through. Seeing it in the IMAX was absolutely beautiful. The dialogue was very well written. Everyone did a brilliant job. The designs of this were incredible. The TARS robot, which was mostly practical effects, was absolutely incredible. Interstellar is a space film that just amazed me so much and had me thinking about it for a very long time after seeing it. In at number 9 is one of the craziest and most exciting things I saw this year, Killers. Killers is directed by Timo Tjahjanto and Kimmo. I forgot how to pronounce. I'm not going to even try and pronounce his surname because I got it completely wrong last time. But they both did an excellent job of these killers, but this snuff story, and they're a very weird snuff story, but it had excellent choreography, a really interesting story about these weird people that like to kill people, but it was just so interesting with everything that it did. It's a very long film, but as it went more and more on, it got more and more exciting and was just such an incredible film to watch and just blew me away. And it's something that months and months after seeing it, I will see it in a shop or something and I've bought it, and I've just, every time I look at it, it always just makes me remember back to it because this film was so very dark with some very, very horrible subjects, but was so incredible with every single thing that it did and some really incredible cinematography in it. In at number 8 is Under the Skin. Under the Skin is one of the most amazing sci-fi films that I have seen in a very long time. It's very experimental, one of the best experimental sci-fi films. One film that this year left me not really knowing what had just gone on, but had me so very interesting with a absolutely amazing soundtrack, which I have bought on vinyl. An absolutely amazing, amazing soundtrack. Scarlett Johansson was incredible in it, and it's just an ending that shocked me so much, but was like, whoa, that is one of the most incredible endings, because this was a film that I didn't know how it was going to end, and when it ended, I was so surprised with this ending, and that is why it is number 8. In at number 7 is, some people are going to be like, hey, that gets released in the UK next year. There's 2 films in here that get released in the UK next year, but I saw them in America this year, and this list is more about my experience of what I saw this year, and because I've seen people I watched a lot of American reviewers and they put this on the list, and I didn't want to wait till next year to put this on here. So in at number 7 is Birdman. Birdman is Michael Keaton being absolutely incredible with some really, really brilliant cinematography. One of the most creative cinematic experience that I have seen this year and in a very long time. A whole film that looks like one complete tracking shot that just worked so well and is very, very funny. A lot of satire about Hollywood and their action movies, their superhero movies, about Broadway and things. Michael Keaton just blew me away with his performance in this, and just the way it was shot is absolutely incredible, and it just amazed me from start to finish. In at number 6 is Whiplash. Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons are absolutely incredible in this film. Whiplash was such an exciting film. I saw it while I was in New York, and it was such an exciting film to see, about drumming, about J.K. Simmons' character pushing this person to their full potential and seeing what they completely can do with the potential that they have. Miles Teller is incredible and just deserves to win Oscars and awards for his performance. The ending of this film had me so on the edge of my seat and full of excitement and just goosebumps throughout this whole film, and it was just incredible. The finale of this film, the end of this film, just blew me away, and this is a film that I got out of the cinema and I was like, that was incredible, and it has stayed in my mind this whole time, and it comes out in January in the UK, but it's just when it comes out, I'm just going to be going and seeing it straight away again because it's an incredible film. But it's in here because I saw it in America, and a lot of American reviewers I watch have put it in theirs, so I'm allowed to put it in mine as well. Even if I do live in the UK, I still saw it this year, so that's why it's in here. In at number 5 is a film that I don't even know when it's getting a UK release, but it got put on Netflix, American Netflix, and I watched it on there, and that is Snowpiercer, the most incredible that I have seen Chris Evans. He was incredible in Captain America the Winter Soldier this year, but this is a performance that I've never really seen him have before, and it was just this emotion and so many incredible things that he did that just amazed me. This film has quite a lot. It's the first 20 minutes are a little bit slow, and it's just more the conversations of getting to know these characters, getting to know what they have to eat every single day, because it's set on this train, and on the train is the very poor section, and because it's the end of the world, everything is frozen over. That's why it's called Snowpiercer. Everything is frozen over. The whole world is frozen, everything, and they're on this train because they can still live on this. But at the back end of the train is where Chris Evans and all these other people are, because of such a poor section. And further down the train, right at the front, is the more rich section. All these people that are rich have a much more nice living, and there's one day they want to get through the train and get to the front. And just this film, going from all the different sections in the train, was incredible. There's one moment of this film that just gave me complete goosebumps because of how incredible it was, and the camera work on it. Yeah, Snowpiercer is also done by Bong Joon-ho, who directed one of my favourite monster movies, The Host, and he is just an incredible director who did something so well with Chris Evans here. There's one scene which I heard that Chris Evans thought was very silly, but in the film, it really works. This film is incredible. It's the first film in a very long time that has given me goosebumps and filled me with excitement throughout. There's 2 films here, Whiplash and Snowpiercer, that have done that, and it was just absolutely incredible. And if you get the chance to see Snowpiercer, then do, and I really hope it does get a UK release. In at number 4 is a film that just shouted childhood to me, and that is The Lego Movie. The Lego Movie was so lovely and so nice and so very funny, and written by excellent writers as Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and directed by them as well, and some other writers on there, and it was just so very self-aware, some beautiful, beautiful animation, filled me with excitement again. It was so lovely and had me laughing so much, and I didn't expect to laugh that much, but the Lego Movie is something that worked so very well with every single thing that it did, and was so nice to see, and just so crazy and fun, and I absolutely loved it. In at number 3 is a movie that I have now watched about 8 times this year. That is Godzilla. I saw it in the IMAX on a Thursday, and then saw it the next day on the Friday. Godzilla is just absolutely incredible. Gareth Edwards did such a great job with this. It was so directed so well. The special effects are amazing. It's the story, just seeing Godzilla again is just so great, because the people that moan about this, about Godzilla being in 18 minutes in the film, in the original Godzilla's in the film for 18 minutes, and in this he was in it for a very short amount of time, but every time he's on screen it's brilliant. They knew how to get their shots. Even if you just see a tail in the film, it's amazing. The soundtrack is brilliant. I have that on vinyl as well. And the scene where all the soldiers jump from the plane has some of the most beautiful cinematography and looks like a painting. Godzilla filled me with excitement again, and was just such an exciting and great monster kaiju movie to watch, and I just loved it so much, and I'm so excited for Godzilla 2. And at number 2 is one of Marvel's best movies, which in my opinion is better than the Avengers. Yep, you're gonna throw stuff at me now, but it was. And Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and this were better than the Avengers, and that's probably an unpopular opinion, but that's how I feel. Guardians of the Galaxy is in at number 2. Guardians of the Galaxy took me back to how Star Wars was, and it felt like on Star Wars. James Gunn is a brilliant writer. Chris Pratt is absolutely brilliant as Star-Lord. Drax the Destroyer is brilliant with Dave Bautista. I can't even say the surname properly. And even Vin Diesel as Groot was great, and Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon was so good, and Zoe Saldana as Gamora. Just the Guardians of the Galaxy was so funny and so good, and it's just Marvel taking a shot at something that they didn't think many people were going to enjoy, but to me it was just so much fun and so good. And I'm so excited for the second one. Just Guardians of the Galaxy was a really fun time, and I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I saw it 3 times while I was in the cinema, and I just loved it every single time. I spotted more things every single time seeing it. Was so excited watching it all those times, and I just loved it so very much. In at number 1 is Boyhood. Yes, probably some people didn't expect this, but Boyhood is a film that reminded me of childhood, and seeing this character grow up, it reminded me of childhood, it reminded me of my teenage years, and it reminded me of when I've got into my adulthood, because it saw this character grow through all these years, and being filmed over 12 years, it's just so good. And Richard Linklater did an incredible job with this film. Seeing all these actors grow up, and just the different things the story takes, and just seeing them go from their jobs, from going through school, from going through university, and just ending with this smile at the camera, which left me with a smile on my face. Boyhood was just a beautiful film of a story of seeing someone grow from childhood to adulthood, and it's one of the best sort of growing of age films, and was just so lovely to watch. And yes, that is my top 10 best films of 2014. I saw so many great films this year. 2014 was actually a really good year for films. I know I said in the worst that there was a lot of bad this year, but when I went through my best and did all my mentions and stuff, there was more mentions before, but I had to shorten it down just so there wasn't so much flying at you. But there was just so much great this year, and I'm really excited to see what 2015 brings. So in the comments down below, say what your best of 2014 were, and yeah, say what you thought you liked best in this list. And this is just my opinion. If you didn't like these films, then that's cool. If you did like these films, that's cool. Or if you don't agree with the numbers or whatever I did, then that's cool. But just wanted to talk about these films. And yes, that's all for today, and I shall see you again very soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.